Hello everyone, I'm happy to start a new series today on a topic that you'll probably find funny, that it could become an entire topic, and that is a word you cannot translate into English. I looked, I seeked, and I could not find a translation for the word shuckling. Jews cannot stand still in shul. They go like this, and ultimately there is no precedent for this in any other religion. We shuckle during davening. So the question is, what is it all about? Before we talk about what it's all about, let's first talk about what it isn't. It isn't a means to do exercise in shul. Exercise is extremely important. There's a beautiful medrash in Vayikra Rabbah about Hillel HaZaken. He left the study hall, and his students asked, "Where are you going?" And he said, "La'asot mitzvah, I'm going to do a mitzvah." So they said, "What mitzvah?" He said, "I'm going to the bathhouse." This is the time before indoor plumbing. He's going to the bathhouse. Amru lo v'zoi mitzvah? That's a mitzvah? Amar lahen, yes. Look at all the statues around us. They clean them, they shine them, they polish them. We, who were created in Tzelem Elokim, we were created in God's image, all the more so that we have to stay polished and clean and make sure our bodies are healthy and well. So, absolutely an obligation, but that is not the reason to shuckle in shul, or to be precise, if you shuckle, I'm not sure that's exercise. Number 2, it is not a means to make sure that people don't fall asleep. Even though in the Siddur Hagra he says, "Hana'anuim batfilah eino rak shelo yishan kemo shekatav hashla," namely the Shla said, this is just that we don't fall asleep in davening. He disagrees with it. So the question is, do you have to shuckle during davening? Is there an importance in doing so? Comes along the Sefer Chasidim, Rabbi Yehuda HaChassid, and says, yes. V'tzarich lena'anea kol gufo, you have to shake your entire body. B'sha'at atfilah, dechtiv kol atzmotai tomarna Hashem yichamocha. Every Shabbos morning, Yontif morning, and at the Seder we say, all my bones say, God, there's no one like you. So therefore, in order to show that all my bones are saying it, you have to move your bones during davening. And ultimately, this is the way the Rama paskins in Shulchan Aruch, though not as an obligation, but as a minhag, nahagu, he says, b'sha'ah mitpalalim, you should move your body like this and like this, al shem kol atzmotai. Indeed, the Rama Mipano, who lived in Italy in the generation right after the Shulchan Aruch, he was responsible for the printing of the Shulchan Aruch, comes along and says, Asor lena'anea gufo b'sha'ah sh'adam mitpalel. And that wonderful pasuk, kol atzmotai tomarna, all my bones say this, that, or the other thing, Ela shvachol shel makom, is praising God. Dichtiv Hashem yichamocha. The pasuk says, Kol atzmotayna tomarna Hashem yichamocha. All my bones will say, God, there's no one like you. So God's the one that moves to and fro. We have to stand still. V'chen ktiv b'chayot hakodesh. And so too with the angels. Alma b'tfilat ha'amidah tzarich lahashpit aknafayim. Just like the angels don't wrap their wings during standing before God, we do not when we stand before God. So ultimately, the Be'er Heitev says you can do it in Psukei Zimra, but not in the Tfilat Amidah and the Shmona Esrei. And the Rama, based on the Sefer Chasidim and others, say it's a great thing. Comes along the Knesset Agdola and says, they told me that the Rama Mipano says that you shouldn't. I don't have the book in front of me, but I'm pretty sure, he says, I love this line, I am pretty sure that if he had the book Sefer Chasidim and the Norat HaMa'or, who both say to shackle, Lo hayako tevisur b'makom zal shehem mitirim. Not only would he not say it's forbidden, but chashiv chasiduta, it's considered a wonderful, good, pious thing to do. But the Knesset Agdola is honest, intellectually honest. He says, maybe the Rama Mipano means only in Shmona Esrei and not in Psukei Zimra. And then he says, Shuv ba'u liyadi tshuvat Rama Mipano. And right before I went to print, I got the book. And when we talked to Rav Nireh, the yesh lechalek, Moshe katafti, and indeed the distinction that I said is in the Rama Mipano. The Rama Mipano who says don't move during the Amidah does say, minhag vatikin lanuach me'at b'chotmei habrachot bilvad. at the end of the bracha to move a little bit, but only there. Just like we do in Kedusha. And that's considered praising God. But in the rest of the brachot, stand still. It's said about Rav Moshe Feinstein that he was called under the communists to appear before them. They made him stand for an hour without moving. And he said, if that's the way I have to do it before Basar Adam, before a human being, then that's the way I'm going to stand before God. And he never moved during his davening. So ultimately we have three opinions. One opinion encourages it, saying it's a kiyum of all my bones say there's no one like you, God. Another opinion of the Ramami panel says absolutely not, inappropriate. And a third middle opinion said maybe Psuki de Zimra, but not in the Amida. How do we paskin on this shaila? Well, how we paskin on this shaila is beautiful. The Magen Avraham comes along and says, Uda Avid Kemar Avid, Uchemar Avid, Ubilvad Sheyechavein. What brings you more kavana? To shuckle or to stand still? Whatever it is, that's what you should do. To end this piece, I just want to explain why of all the things in the world we picked shuckling, going back and forth. Explains Rav Shimon Schwab, former rabbi of the Washington Heights Yeki community, that one of the reasons we do this is to show our experience of standing before God. We feel very near to God. We're talking to him in the first person. And yet God is the King of all kings. He's way beyond us. We're constantly going near and far. Near and far. And that's ultimately why Jews, when they stand before God in davening, can't stand still. Because they're constantly saying, I'm talking to God as if he's a friend of mine, and yet God is the King of all kings. Therefore, naturally, we go near, far, near, far.